$23.47 appeared in my account this morning. I didn't clock in, didn't answer emails, didn't lift a finger. A company I partially own sent me money just for being an owner. And 3 months from now, they'll do it again, and again, and again, for the rest of my life. If that sounds impossible, you're about to discover why 90% of wealthy people know this secret, while everyone else trades hours for dollars. This is dividends explained so simply that a 5-year-old could become an investor by the end of this video. And by the way, stick around to minute 7, because I'm going to show you the exact 3 companies that have paid dividends for over 100 years straight, even through the Great Depression. Let's start with something you already understand, then build from there. 3 kids start a lemonade stand. Emma, Lucas, and Sophia each throw in $10. $30 total. They buy lemons, sugar, cups, and dreams. 1 month later, they've made $90 in pure profit. Now here's where everything changes. Lucas asks the magic question: do we keep all this money in the business, or do we split it up? They vote. Each person gets $30 back, triple their original investment. That split, that sharing of profits among owners, is a dividend. You just learned the foundation of a wealth-building strategy that created more millionaires than any other investment method in history. But here's what makes this powerful. Scale it up. Replace that lemonade stand with Coca-Cola. Replace 3 owners with 3 million shareholders. Replace $90 with $9 billion in annual profit. The principle stays identical. When the company makes money, the owners get their cut. You buy 1 share of Coca-Cola, you become a co-owner. Not a customer, not an employee, an owner. And 4 times every year, Coca-Cola looks at its profits and says, let's pay our owners. They calculate the profit per share, maybe 52 cents, and they deposit it directly into your account. You own 100 shares? You get $52. You own 1,000 shares? You get $520. Every single quarter, whether you're awake or asleep, working or on vacation, young or old. Now here's where your brain should be exploding with possibility. Let's say you get that $52 dividend payment. You could spend it on coffee, new headphones, whatever. Or you could do something that literally bends the rules of time and money in your favor. You take that $52 and buy more Coca-Cola shares. Now you own more of the company, which means next quarter, your dividend is bigger. So you buy more shares again, and again, and again. This is called dividend reinvestment, and it's the closest thing to magic that exists in finance. Your money makes money. Then that money makes more money. Then that money makes even more money. It's a snowball rolling downhill, gathering mass and momentum. Your grandfather buys 100 shares in 1970 for $3,000. He reinvests every dividend for 50 years. By 2025, he doesn't own 100 shares anymore. He owns 2,000 shares. And those 2,000 shares now generate more dividend income in 1 year than his entire original investment. He's getting $3,000 every single year, forever, from something he bought once and forgot about. The lemonade stand became a forest of money trees. But hold on. Before we go further, I need something from you. If this is finally making sense, if you're starting to see how ordinary people build real wealth, smash that like button right now. It tells YouTube to show this video to more people who need to understand this. Drop a comment telling me which company you'd want to own shares in and why. And subscribe to Easy Finance, because we're breaking down one money secret every single week that schools never taught you. Hit that notification bell so you never miss the next lesson. Do it now, because what comes next is going to change how you see every product you buy. Here's what nobody tells you about dividends. You're already funding them. Every time you brush your teeth with Colgate, buy bandages from Johnson & Johnson, or grab a Pepsi from the store, a tiny fraction of that purchase becomes profit. And that profit gets distributed to shareholders. So you have 2 choices. Keep being the customer who pays, or become the owner who gets paid. Think about the products you use every single day. Toothpaste, soap, snacks, medicine, cleaning supplies. The companies that make those products are profit machines. They've existed for decades, sometimes over a century, because humans need these things no matter what's happening in the economy. Recession? People still brush their teeth. Stock market crash? People still need bandages. These companies are called dividend aristocrats. They've increased their dividend payment every single year for at least 25 years straight. Some have done it for 50 years, 60 years, over 70 years without missing a single payment or cutting the amount. Let me give you 3 names you need to know. Procter & Gamble, 68 consecutive years of dividend increases. Johnson & Johnson, 62 consecutive years. Coca-Cola, 62 consecutive years. Through world wars, through the Great Depression, through the dot-com crash, through the 2008 financial crisis, through global pandemics, they kept their promise. They kept paying their owners. This isn't speculation. This isn't gambling. This is mathematical certainty wrapped in corporate reliability. Now, some companies don't pay dividends at all. Amazon keeps every dollar of profit to build more warehouses. Tesla reinvests everything into new factories and technology. Their stock prices might skyrocket, but they send you nothing. Zero. Not a penny. That's not wrong. It's just a different strategy. Those companies are sprinting toward growth. Dividend companies are already giants who've won their markets and now share the spoils. Which is better? Depends on what you need. If you're 25 years old, maybe you want growth. But if you're 55 and planning retirement, you want that quarterly check hitting your account like clockwork. You want reliability, predictability, income you can plan a life around. Imagine retiring with enough dividend-paying stocks that you receive $40,000 a year in dividends. That's not from selling shares. That's just from owning them. The shares stay in your account, growing in value, while simultaneously paying you to hold them. You never touch the principal. You live off the dividends. And when you die, you pass those shares to your kids, who inherit the income stream. Generational wealth, built from companies that pay you for believing in them. Here's the rhythm that changes lives. Every 3 months, dividends arrive. January, April, July, October. Like seasons. Like breathing. You begin to structure your life around this certainty. People build entire retirements on dividend income. They calculate it down to the dollar. They know that between their dividend payments from 15 different companies, staggered throughout the year, they'll receive $6,000 in January, $5,000 in February, $7,000 in March. Every month, every year, until they die. And even after they die, their family keeps receiving it. This is what it means to be an owner instead of just a worker. Workers trade time for money, and when time runs out, money stops. Owners buy assets that pay them forever. Okay, real talk. If you've made it this far, you're serious about this. So I need you to do 3 things right now. First, share this video with one person who needs to hear it. Your friend drowning in credit card debt. Your parent who thinks investing is too complicated. Your sibling who keeps saying they'll start next year. Send it to them. Second, comment below with the number 1 money question you want us to answer next. We read every single comment and make videos based on what you need. And third, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're building a community of people who are willing to up their finance game. Subscribe to Easy Finance right now. Join thousands of people rewriting their financial futures one video at a time. So where do you start? You don't need thousands of dollars. You don't need a finance degree. You need $50 and a brokerage app. Open an account. Search for dividend-paying companies. Look for dividend aristocrats with decades of payment history. Buy 1 share. Just 1. And watch what happens. 3 months later, money appears. Not much. Maybe $2. Maybe 5. But it's real. You earned it by owning something, not by working for it. And that feeling, that first dividend deposit, changes something in your brain. You realize the game is real. The system works. And you can play it. So you buy another share. Then another. You set up automatic reinvestment. You stop checking the stock price every day because you're not trying to get rich tomorrow. You're building a machine that pays you forever. Years pass. The dividends grow. The share count multiplies. And one day you wake up and realize you're getting more money from dividends than from your actual job. That's when everything shifts. That's when you understand what financial freedom actually means. We started with a lemonade stand and 3 kids splitting $90. We end with you, right now, holding the same power those kids discovered. The ability to own something valuable and share in its success. Dividends aren't loud. They don't promise overnight riches or viral fame. They're the quiet accumulation of wealth through ownership. They're the boring middle-class families who retire as millionaires because they bought 10 shares of Coca-Cola in 1980 and never sold. Plant your tree today. Water it with patience and reinvestment. And decades from now, you'll stand in the shade of a fortune you barely remember building, watching money arrive every quarter like clockwork, paying you simply for having the wisdom to own rather than just earn. The companies will keep making products. The profits will keep flowing, and the dividends will keep coming. Quarter after quarter, year after year, working while you sleep. This is the promise. This is the power. This is how companies pay you just for owning their stock. The question isn't whether dividends work. The question is whether you'll start today or regret waiting tomorrow. The tree is already growing. Will you own it or just walk past it? Subscribe to Easy Finance. Your future self is watching.